Okay, then. Looks like I'm going to have to really bring the hurt on you. Honey? Yeah, I want a divorce. That's right. Take the house and the kids. I know we're soulmates. I don't care. It's over. You ready to give up now, Josh?
Costa, why would you divorce your wife? She's the only thing people like about you.
Oh, you mean my ex-wife? I didn't want to even do this to you, but here we are, just me and you in a room that's spinning. I smell toast. Does anyone else smell toast?
You really should go to a hospital.
Well, joke's on you, dumbass. I can't. I was on my wife's health insurance.
Let's kick things off with an update in our war with Iran. It started about a month ago, and today President Trump spoke to the nation with some good news about the war.
They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize.
Wait, you got a gift from the people you are currently at war with. When I was at school and they made us read the Odyssey, I couldn't believe the Trojans fell for that Trojan horse. And now I'm watching it happen in real time. The Secret Service is going to be like, Mr. President, please don't bring that to the Situation Room. But it's expensive. And it's ticking. I bet it's a watch.
According to the New York Times, Trump has used the office of the presidency to pocket more than $1.4 billion for himself.
Wait, $1.4 billion off of being the president? That's so rich, it makes every other president look stupid. Like, what was up with George Washington's wooden teeth? You broke bitch. You should have had them molars iced out. So I'm going to say that promise was not kept, but you can't win them all. Let's look at another one. Jeffrey Epstein died back in 2019, but not since Tupac Shakur has a dead man dropped so many bangers, all right? Yesterday, video of the government questioning him back in 2010 started making the rounds, and you'll never guess whose name came up. Go ahead, guess.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
I'm going to put that down. I'm going to put that down as a yes. I'll be honest, I've never heard anybody plead anything other than the 5th before. But this guy's so guilty, he's calling out every amendment he can think of. Like, no, what's the one with the women voting? 19, throw that in too. Now, it may be surprising that some of the most diehard congressmen are going against Trump on this, but you have to remember that they ultimately just want to be reelected. And right now, their voters are absolutely losing it over this Epstein thing.
How much are your constituents clamoring for more information about Epstein right now?
It's the number one phone call that we get, by far. It's probably 500 to 1.
500 to 1?
Yeah, it's number one phone calls that we get.
I'm sorry, 500 to 1? I want to know about the Epstein files, but that is wild. That means people are calling in 500 times about Jeffrey Epstein for every one caller who's just like, hey, my tap water poison. And I could understand it if everything else in your state is going fine. But this congressman's from Missouri, okay? They have real problems, but they're using all their Boost Mobile minutes on this thing. I'll talk to my kids next month. This Epstein thing is too important.
According to the New York Times, Trump has used the office of the presidency to pocket more than $1.4 billion for himself.
Wait, $1.4 billion off of being the president? That's so rich, it makes every other president look stupid. Like, what was up with George Washington's wooden teeth? You broke bitch. You should have had them molars iced out. But maybe what Europe did here is a lesson for the rest of us. Because Trump barged into Davos like, I want to own Greenland. And Europe just said no. And in just 6 hours, they worked him down from owning Greenland to concepts of a deal. So maybe saying no is something more of us in America might want to try. Instead of complying in advance, college presidents, law firms, media outlets, whoever keeps giving Trump that tacky gold shit to put on his walls, just tell that man no. Right? In the meantime, good on Denmark for standing its ground. You did it. Although if he changes his mind, you might want to bulk up your defenses with some of those binder clips just to be safe. But I guess that's what matters to Trump. He doesn't care about competence. He just wants loyalty. That's why he endorsed Ken Paxton over John Cornyn, and it's why he endorsed Ed Gowrine over Thomas Massie, even though Massie was more MAGA than Trump. But Thomas Massie told Trump he's not going to blow him to get elected, while Ken Paxton told Trump, watch me suck this peanut butter through a straw and see what I can do for you. And it's chunky. And that's the difference between these two parties. They both have kingmakers. But kingmakers are looking for two different things on each party. One looks for this in his candidates.
A fight to reject the politics of big money and small ideas, making healthcare more affordable and making housing more affordable. A vote for a city you can afford.
And the other looks for this.
When people like me, I like them. It's very simple. It's a very simple formula.
That's not really a formula. I mean, I guess it's a formula this guy could understand. Whatever you think about Trump or Mamdani, it's very clear that they are controlling the vibe of their party. And voters are eager to see, come November, which base is going to sound like this. Just so we're all clear, 86 means getting rid of something off a menu or kicking someone out of a place. It's been understood to mean those things since the 1930s. It's actually one of the last good slang terms that white people invented. Since then, it's been nothing but bazinga and amazeballs and a few new slurs. Mostly the slurs. So I'm not worried that James Comey is actually going to prison. But what's bumming me out is the fact that our president feels totally unencumbered to use the power of the Justice Department to go after people he doesn't like. You know? This whole thing is so depressing, I could use a pick-me-up.
As Oscar Wilde said, we have really everything in common with America nowadays, except, of course, language.
Oh, damn. Get him, Chuck. Get him. I honestly don't even know what that means. But so, look. I don't know what Ghislaine knows about whatever Donald Trump did. All I know is that every detail that comes out makes him look more and more suspicious. And if you thought this couldn't look any worse, wait till you see the birthday card that Trump sent that dog. This is one of the saddest images I've seen in months, and I follow one of those hairless cats on Instagram. You know the medal is only a symbol. Right? Like, just because I steal A$AP Rocky's wedding ring doesn't make it so I'm married to Rihanna. Unless it would. I guess it's really what she thinks. Like, it's kind of her decision to make, and I'm waiting. So look, earned or not, his or not, Trump has the Peace Prize. And who knows, having the Peace Prize might make him a man of peace. Please, for America's sake, you can't go down this path. This is going to end up with you behind the White House with China doing unspeakable things for money. Please reassure us when you are promising money to people, you have an idea where it's coming from.
You put out a Truth Social post earlier today.
I did.
Where you blasted the air traffic controllers who had not shown up for work and offered potentially a bonus of $10,000 for those who have worked despite the shutdown.
I'm sending them a $10,000 bonus.
Where's that money coming from?
I don't know. I'll get it from someplace.
Donald Trump's been having a pretty good time. The shutdown ended, he didn't have to concede anything, and he didn't even have to give poor people health care, his favorite kind of deal. Everything's coming up Trump. Nothing can stop the Trump train now.
Breaking news, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein mentioned Donald Trump by name several times in private emails.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Trump train is experiencing a slight delay. There is an Epstein file on the tracks. We should be moving as soon as we get that cleared. That's all she said, and now she's being treated like royalty.
A whistleblower alleges that Ghislaine Maxwell is getting special treatment in prison.
Maxwell's meals have been customized. They are delivered directly to her cell. She is personally escorted to the exercise area after hours and gets to enjoy recreation time in staff-only areas. When she wants private meetings, the warden personally arranges them, providing an assortment of snacks and refreshments for her guests.
I mean, she gets to hang out in the staff areas. Can you imagine being a prison guard who can't watch TV in the break room because Ghislaine taking a nap on the couch? I mean, if they're not bleeping the N-word, they must not bleep anything.
The big question this morning, why did these outbursts remain on the broadcast when other parts of the event were cut, like the words of one award winner who said, "Free Palestine"?
Now, whenever I hear something bleeped, I'm gonna assume they might be saying "Free Palestine." I'll be listening to music like, oh, wow, I didn't realize Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion wanted a wet-ass Free Palestine. How could this possibly happen?
The corporation said producers were overseeing the coverage from a truck and simply did not hear the slur.
Oh, that makes sense, because most of the times I've been called the N-word, it's been hurled from a truck. Yesterday, Trump was in the Oval Office to announce the construction of a big road in Alaska. Congrats, Alaska. You finally got a road. And if we know one thing about Trump, it's that he likes to keep his press conferences focused and on topic. So let's hear what he has to say about this cool road.
I want to be good because you want to prove to God that you're good, so you go to that next step, right? So that's very important to me.
Trump, are you sick? I mean, aside from all the visible signs that your body is falling apart, are you sick or something? Like, we should take a second here, because this is the first time I've seen Trump be humble about anything. Like, normally he'd be like, heaven's begging me to come. I'm only staying alive to play hard to get. Jesus came up to me with tears in his eyes and he said, please, sir, come fix heaven. It's a total dump. But look, whether you love what Trump's done the past year or hate it, he has been busy. Let's hear about some of these incredible accomplishments.
With bullet points like number 243, stripped notorious crackhead and grifter Hunter Biden of his taxpayer-funded Secret Service detail.
Notorious crackhead? That may seem harsh, but name another famous crackhead from the last 5 years. I'll wait. To be fair, the bar on crackhead notoriety is pretty low. Most people don't know the names of too many crackheads. Hell, most crackheads I know don't even know their own names. But look, Donald Trump is not about the past. This man is about America's future. It's why you should choose your friends wisely, because remember, if you do something embarrassing in front of a friend, that's a memory. But if they turn on you, it becomes ammo.
Epstein suggesting reporters ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused, he walked straight into the door.
There is no way this dude is Looney Tunes level horny. Like, you know, there's normal level perv, and then there's Kool-Aid Man level perv. Hey, Don, you want to see some girls in the pool? Oh, yeah. And look, also, I'm not saying Trump has a micro penis. But it's weird he got all horned up and his nose hit the glass first. How can you be both a hero and a piece of shit?
I don't know. You could save a cat from a tree, then call it a gay slur, I guess. These controllers know what I'm talking about. Keep up the good work there, Stan, you mooching turd dragon.
Jordan, this is the problem. People can't possibly believe that Trump is giving federal workers the support they need when he keeps taunting them.
Oh, Trump's not taunting these poor federal workers. Trump's just saying, what's the matter, huh? You want this little paycheck? Who wants this little paycheck? Who wants this little paycheck, huh? Then why don't you get some scotch tape and put it back together, you turd-sucking vultures?
No nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States. It's the United States alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us.
That's right. It's huge, undeveloped, in a strategic location. It's like if your grandma had a Manhattan apartment she bought in 1950. Once she dies in it, you're going to push her down the trash chute and live like a king. It all sounds great, but I do have one problem. We already have a treaty with Denmark that lets us build as many military bases in Greenland as necessary. I don't know why we need to own Greenland to defend it.
You need the ownership to defend it. You can't defend it on a lease. Number one, legally it's not defensible that way, totally. And number two, psychologically, who the hell wants to defend a license agreement or a lease?
I guess I get what he means, because you do care less about things when they're not yours. Like, a parent will do anything to protect their kids, but if I'm babysitting... Yeah, I mean, like, I'll give it a good college try, but at the end of the day, he don't look like me, all right? We'll see how far you get with that, just because the thing that AI does to people that I don't feel like anyone talks about, because it is embarrassing, having the entire world of possibility mixed up in the internet for like A and B testing and for mixing and matching everything that should be copyrighted, right? Having all of the human history that has been digitized and stolen only reveals to you how few ideas you really have. You know what I mean? When you are sitting in front of a thing that's like, this is a text to image AI, right? Type in anything you want, I'll give you an image of it. First 5 minutes, you're probably pumping out stuff that seems funny, fun, I'll show somebody this, whatever. After an hour, you're like, oh, I don't know what I would do with this. But this thing only exists because of the ideas that we have. So it's a vicious cycle that doesn't really go anywhere. And so I think that when the bubble pops, it won't be in some dramatic way where employers are like, we're hiring everybody back because we were wrong. I think it will just quietly be people realizing that it is a tool, but it is not a replacement, you know? So I don't worry about it in that way. And then that guy is just like, oh, okay, do you know where the bathroom is? But these emails don't just show their friendship, they show their frenemyship. And after their bromance ended, Epstein really showed that hell hath no fury like a pedophile scorned.
He says Trump is borderline insane. He says Donald Trump is effing crazy. Maybe Donald Trump has early dementia. Rumler says Trump is so gross. And Epstein responds, worse in real life and up close.
Damn. A pedophile called you all that? That's wild. It would be like if the devil came out and said, y'all, Diddy gross, okay? We were alone for 5 minutes. You know, he tried to kiss me. And when I pushed him away, he hit me with a water balloon full of baby oil. I don't even know what that's for. This is one of the many reasons being friends with a pedophile is a lose-lose situation. Because as a character witness, if they're like, this guy's disgusting and I'm a pedophile, that's bad. But on the flip side, if they're like, yeah, I know him, he's a pretty good hang, that's also horrible. Don't get me wrong. This is astonishing because if this peace holds, it means the guy who couldn't stop a fight between Gary Busey and Meatloaf brokered peace in the Middle East. So, Trump, when it comes to peace, you did it. You know, I mean, you also did a big portion of the war, but you did the peace too. It's like how white people did slavery in America, but they also ended slavery in America. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Either way, this is a reason to celebrate. And look, if this deal holds, maybe we should give Trump the Nobel Peace Prize? Or, and you won't like this either, we let him burn the Epstein files. He only gets one, but he gets to pick, all right? Now, maybe you're wondering how the world found out about this peace deal. Was it a grand announcement like the Treaty of Versailles? Or like the end of World War II, where nurses and soldiers met up in Times Square just to make out? No. This is Trump's America, so it was much stupider.
At the White House yesterday, the president interrupted by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, seen handing him a note and then whispering in Trump's ear. Photographers catching the handwritten message. We need you to approve a Truth Social post soon so you can announce deal first.
Wait, they plan his Truth Social posts? So when I see one all misspelled and half in caps at 3 a.m, that was the plan? It's like scheduling that you're going to shit your pants. But don't let all the things that Constantino hates fool you. One thing I know about him is that he likes being funny and having fun. I know this because he told us.
I like being funny. I like making people laugh. I like having fun. If you're not having fun in life, what else matters?
Why does he look like he's about to read off what my grandma left me at her will? Like, I like being funny, but today's not about me. It's about Eunice Marie Johnson, a wonderful lady. Like the words he's saying are, I like to have fun, but the tone is saying, I hit a cat with my car and felt nothing. Look, I have seen so much anger and hate online fighting over this, with people rushing to attack anyone they saw as ableist in some ways that were pretty racist. People are pretending to be neurologists while saying things like, don't you say the R word, you N word? Everyone was so mad at each other when all of us should be mad at the BAFTAs. They have failed both groups and the people that overlap at every turn. They sat John next to a microphone. They didn't edit it out, even with a 2-hour delay. And they left it up, unedited, on the BBC streaming service for 15 hours. How are you going to hand out editing awards and you can't edit? Even worse, you embarrassed Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo. No one gets away with that. So please, Black Twitter and neurodivergent TikTok, stop firing off at each other and turn that heat on to BAFTA and the BBC, because your heat together is equal to the sun. Roast them, light them up, fry their asses. They're from England, they burn easy. Trump has lost total control of the situation. Even his allies in Congress are turning on him.
In an effort to gain clarity, 3 Republicans joined Democrats on the House Oversight Committee to subpoena the Justice Department to give Congress all of the Epstein files.
This fight's coming no matter, this is here. I'm ready to take this vote. I think we should take this vote and move forward, move this country forward, and people deserve transparency.
Nancy Mace, damn. Trump is even losing the white women. Which is great because it means we're getting the white women and we're getting those files, all right? This feels like when you're at the airport and Southwest has delayed you for 23 hours. You're standing in line at customer service and there's a white woman in line in front of you, bubbling harder than Prosecco. She's even doing the like, And then she turns to you and says, I'm going to say something. And you're like, yes, 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 white lady. Go up there and get that manager for all of us. All right? And one of the most brain-breaking things about this ruling is it's literally taking power from black people in the South. And it was voted for by a black guy from the South. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is black. He might not know it, but he is black. How could you, of all people, vote for this, Clarence? You were like an uncle to all of us. Uncle Clarence Thomas. Uncle Thomas for short. Uncle Tom for shorter. But look, we don't have to pretend here. At the end of the day, we all know that this decision was not about moving on from race. This is the Supreme Court majority handing a win to Republicans. I know that, you know that, and the Republicans definitely know that because their leader said it out loud.
Mr. President, I want to go back to the Supreme Court ruling on the Voting Rights Act. I know you said you haven't seen it.
When did it come out, just now?
No, it came out this morning, but basically very much narrows the Voting Rights Act.
Was it considered a win for who?
A win for Republicans.
I love it.
You could always count on Trump to get right to the point. Like, it's a win for Republicans. Did you guys hear that? I know this guy did. Okay, but we have to do something. How do we push back if we can't get into Congress?
Money! Duh! Josh, you ever heard of it? It's called moolah. It's the most powerful branch of government. You want your voice heard? Just get super rich and you can buy whatever politician you want. You can even make them do stuff. You can probably get Ted Cruz to vote on your bill or punch his own dick.
Okay, I'm listening. But how do we get rich enough to buy the politicians?
Okay, look, one simple way is to insider trade, okay? And the easiest way to do that is to get elected to Congress. Oh, all right, well.
Ronnie Chang, everybody. Come on, guys, that's not going to work. If you want to downplay this story, you need a master, all right? Megyn Kelly, you're a master of spin. Show us what you got.
As for Epstein, he wasn't into, like, 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. You know, it's just, whatever, it's sick.
How the hell was Megyn Kelly ever an attorney? Your Honor, my client only engaged in diet pedophilia. Ma'am, everyone knows there's a big difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old, but everyone also knows there is never a good reason to be talking about that difference. Trump's people spent a year saying there are no Epstein files. Now there's 20,000 pages, and those still aren't the files. What happened? There's now more pages of Trump-Epstein lore than Batman and Superman crossover. And look, these 20,000 pages weren't all about crimes. A lot of it was just weird bro shit about women that they dated.
Epstein says in these emails that he could produce photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen. Epstein claims that he and Trump had dated the same woman back in the 1990s, saying, my 20-year-old girlfriend in 1993 that after 2 years I gave to Donald.
Man, I'm glad Hillary killed that guy. Because I can't imagine a worse way to break up with someone than setting them up with Donald Trump. If someone broke up with me and they were like, I don't deserve you, but you know who does? And then Donald Trump walked in, I'd be like, damn, I didn't know you hated me. But look, it really doesn't matter why Trump wants something. The point is he wants Greenland. And you can tell because his focus is 100% on Greenland.
The president referred to Greenland as Iceland.
I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me.
Okay, anyone can slip up, All right? Obviously, he doesn't mean Iceland. He's not going to make that mistake 3 times in as many sentences.
They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money.
I'm just glad we got rid of the last guy whose brain didn't work. Now, it may be surprising that some of the most die-hard congressmen are going against Trump on this, but you have to remember that they ultimately just want to be reelected. And right now, their voters are absolutely losing it over this Epstein thing.
How much are your constituents clamoring for more information about Epstein right now?
It's the #1 phone call that we get, by far. It's probably 500 to 1.
500 to 1?
Yeah, it's #1 phone calls that we get.
I'm sorry, 500 to 1? I want to know about the Epstein files, but that is wild. That means people are calling in 500 times about Jeffrey Epstein for every one caller who's just like, hey, my tap water poison. And I could understand it if everything else in your state is going fine, but this congressman's from Missouri, okay? They have real problems, but they're using all their Boost Mobile minutes on this thing. I'll talk to my kids next month. This Epstein thing is too important. And worst of all for Trump, it's not just his allies in Congress or conservative Americans. He's pissed off his most important base of support. Crazy-ass lunatics. There had to be another, dumber reason why Trump pardoned Hernandez.
The ex-president of Honduras wrote a letter to President Trump back in October calling Trump Your Excellency and praising Trump's resilience in what he called the face of political persecution, writing in part, just as you, President Trump, I have suffered political persecution targeted by the Biden-Harris administration.
It was that easy? All you have to do is write Trump a letter saying that Biden framed you for something you definitely did, had a trial for, and were convicted of. You are the most did it. Because if it really is that easy, you know what this means. I don't think Diddy can read or write. But at least Dr. Oz is an actual doctor. You can't say the same for RFK Jr. He's our health secretary and also the man that looks like last year's Halloween pumpkin you forgot to throw out. If you questioned his judgment after those stories came out about him taking home dead whales and dead bears, I have great news. There's a new animal you can add to the list.
The New York Post reports that in a 2001 diary entry, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wrote about cutting off the penis of a road-killed raccoon while his kids waited patiently in the car so that he could examine it later.
What is wrong with this man? He cut off a raccoon's penis and saved it for later like some kind of raccoon dick push pop. And I know he put it right in his jeans pocket, too. Didn't even wrap it in a tissue or anything. Every time I hear about one of these RFK stories, they always mention that his kids were waiting patiently. Which means RFK just doesn't know the difference between patience and horror. I'm sure all the hostages in a bank robbery are waiting patiently to go home. It must have been so traumatic for his kids. Any car trip with him could turn into a roadkill excursion at any moment. When he asks his kids if they want to go run errands with him, they must be like, can't you just beat us? I mean, use an extension cord like a regular dad. Regardless, you will never, and I mean never, beat RFK Jr. in a game of Never Have I Ever. You'd be sitting with them like, never have I ever eaten a raccoon's. I did it. I didn't even say what part yet. Doesn't matter.
The Army also changing some regulations to let people enlist without a waiver if they have a single conviction for possession of marijuana or drug paraphernalia.
Okay, this is bad. This is bad. We've been at war a month and you're already down to stoners? This is like that Harold and Kumar movie, Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol. We must be desperate because I've never seen a pothead take a puff and then be like, I want to f somebody up. I wouldn't even trust a stoner with any mission unless that mission is, you need to locate the Ayatollah and tell him the greatest movie ever is Interstellar. And they're not just in the video. Look at the chemistry they have. And this is genuinely unfortunate and unfair to Trump, but the way the camera highlighted the two of them makes it look like a giant heart on a kiss cam. What makes me feel terrible is I don't have a friend that I'm as close with as Trump was to Epstein, you know? They're making drawings for each other, laughing, showing up to weddings, going to shows together. The only way my friends hang out with me that much is if we're both holding Xbox controllers. But look, whether you love what Trump's done the past year or hate it, he has been busy. Let's hear about some of these incredible accomplishments.
With bullet points like number 243, stripped notorious crackhead and grifter Hunter Biden of his taxpayer-funded Secret Service detail.
Notorious crackhead? That may seem harsh, but name another famous crackhead from the last 5 years. I'll wait. To be fair, the bar on crackhead notoriety is pretty low. Most people don't know the names of too many crackheads. Hell, most crackheads I know don't even know their own names. I'm not necessarily afraid of AI in what I do as far as performance. I think it's already been very well said that, like, the things that people do for connection and for real experiences, AI can't replace. The other thing that happens with AI that I don't think, obviously someone could lose their job to AI, which isn't really true. Someone gave your job to AI. Like, the AI didn't come in the room with legs. You know what I mean? Like, AI doesn't have legs to then walk in and be like, I think I'm better. Like, that's not... AI is not pitching itself against you. Someone who wants to save the money that they think that you are wants to replace you. So I think we put it all on the AI instead of putting it on employers and companies and, like, a corporate mindset and everything. But when it comes to stand-up, people want to show up and have an experience with other people. And I think that that's something that can't be replaced by AI, at least in that sphere, right? As far as writing goes, there are definitely going to be people who would opt to, whether it's for money or for ease, because they aren't great collaborators, work with an AI and try to be better prompt writers than better collaborators and writers. That's all, I guess, well and good. So it doesn't look like Norway can calm Trump down. France, you want to give it a shot?
Trump now revealing private text messages he received from French President Emmanuel Macron, saying, "We are totally in line on Syria. We can do great things on Iran. I do not understand what you are doing on Greenland."
These are the same texts Kanye got. Like, just like, hey man, great album. One question though. So Trump is posting the French president's text. He is reading Marco Rubio's notes out loud. The only secret he can hold on to is how he keeps those ankles so juicy. Maybe he's not some kingpin. I mean, this is America, the country that locks people up for years just because they happen to have a little baggie of drugs. How do we know this marginalized president deserved 45 years? I'm sure whatever this guy did, it wasn't that bad.
Juan Orlando Hernandez helped smuggle 400 tons of cocaine into the U.S.
I'm sorry, 400 tons of cocaine? First of all, how do you even shove all that up your ass? I didn't even know you could measure cocaine in tons. It's like if someone told you they weighed 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, the f*** are you talking about? 400 tons of cocaine, that sounds like all the cocaine in the world. Give me another unit based on not all the cocaine in the world.
More than 400 tons, which is about 4.5 billion individual doses of cocaine.
Doses? Is that the term? Hey man, I'm gonna head to the bathroom and do a couple of recommended serving sizes. You could tell this is someone who doesn't know about cocaine because you don't measure it in doses. You measure it in half-written screenplays, all right? That's like saying, hey, do you mind if I get another dollop of meth? But the point is, but you know what? Whether it's a distraction or not, I'm glad Sean Duffy is talking to them about their problems. It's a quick and direct response that shows no matter what happens, President Trump is not going to let this shutdown stop him from showing how much he cares about the health and well-being of the federal workers.
President Trump has already threatened to fire federal workers, and now the White House is floating a new threat, suggesting that some of the 750,000 federal workers might not get back pay.
Damn, Donald. You're going to furlough these workers and then take away their back pay? If I were them, I'm stealing way more than normal. You know what I mean? When I get back, I'm coming to work with a screwdriver. Forget the toilet paper, I'm taking the whole toilet. What else can you even do to these people?
For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
I guess kill them? He's not very good at delivering threats. Like, I'll take care of them in a different way could mean anything from murder to giving them a happy ending. But here's the thing, Donald. Are you sure you want to be piling more stress on air traffic controllers? Because they were already air traffic controllers. That job is like juggling and playing Russian roulette at the same time. I don't think they can handle not getting back pay. And if the air traffic control system falls apart, this is bad for you. Because if you can't fly anymore, that Qatari jet you got is just going to be sitting on the White House lawn like a white trash Winnebago. World Cup fans have come from all over the world to see which country has the most athletic black people. But one country has been making their presence known a little more than the rest.
South Florida's getting taken over by the Scottish this week for the World Cup, turning Little Havana into an international street party.
This is so fun. Also, I'm just happy to see an all-white parade where they're not chanting about the Jews. I'm not sure about the bagpipes, though. You know the Loch Ness Monster is back in Scotland right now. Like, finally, I can get some sleep. The only reason I'm so elusive is because I don't want to hear those damn bagpipes. Because if you look at it that way, he might be keeping his promises. Like, look at healthcare. He's been promising to improve healthcare for like a decade now. And things are so bad, the only healthcare most people can afford is watching The Pit and hoping Noah Wiley tells a patient how to treat eczema. But Donald Trump has more healthcare than he knows what to do with.
President Trump says he has no idea which part of him doctors were looking at when he had an MRI in October.
What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Are you getting so many MRIs they just blend together? Like, do you just get in tubes that people tell you to? I'm starting to think that if you got close enough to Trump, you could probably just give him a colonoscopy. This guy's presidency is going great for himself. Just look at free speech.
So we're going to have more jobs than we've ever had. You will have more jobs. We're going to create a lot of jobs. We will take in so many jobs, millions and millions of new jobs. We're going to do it like nobody else.
Now, did we get millions of jobs? Well, if by jobs you mean the foot jobs your nana is given to pay the electricity bill, then yes. Look, job growth across the country has actually been down. But there's one specific block of Washington, D.C. where job growth is through the roof.
President Trump, of course, serves as the chairman of the Board of Peace.
Donald Trump naming himself chair of the LA Olympics Task Force.
Trump is also the chairman of the Kennedy Center.
For the first time ever, the president served as the on-stage host of the annual honors event.
Touted himself as the acting president of Venezuela.
Whoa, Trump, leave some work for Steve Harvey, all right? Trump is taking everybody's jobs. He's basically AI with even more up hands. Hey, don't look away. This man needs hands. But this is crazy. Trump promised us riches, then he got rich. He promised us jobs, but then he got all the jobs. Wait, what if when we heard all of Trump's promises, we thought he was talking to us, but maybe he was just talking to himself? But you know what? Maybe my favorite Trump promise isn't even about a specific policy. It was deeper and more meaningful.
We're going to dream big again. We haven't been dreaming big at all.
No, we haven't. But now Donald Trump is dreaming enough for all of us.
We're showing a picture now of Donald Trump with his eyes closed, battling to keep his eyes open, struggling to stay awake.
Slumped in a chair in the Oval Office today, appearing to nod off.
He may have dozed off a few times.
Hey, don't laugh at him, all right? Leave that poor man alone. He got like 9 or 10 jobs. So bottom line, when it comes to Donald Trump, there's no you in us. And once you understand that, things will go a lot better for us. And by us, I mean Donald Trump. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, unfortunately, we're all in his hands. Look at it. I wasn't. Black people are being disenfranchised. Aren't you worried about Asian people too?
No. Why the would I want more Asians in Congress? Congress is basically a nursing home for pedophiles. Like, what are Asians gonna do? Hang out and get horrible hand jobs from Lauren Boebert? I can do that myself. You really think Asians want to sling back Jell-O and applesauce with James Clyburn? No, thank you.
I know the government is technically shut down, but that doesn't mean everything is shut down. Rest assured, friends, our politicians are still working hard to make sure the important stuff is getting done.
The Trump administration has ordered FBI employees to search for papers or digital records related to the disappearance of famed pilot Amelia Earhart.
Hell yeah. Trump heard we wanted to see the secret files about the famous person with a private plane who suffered a mysterious death, and he was like, Amelia Earhart, got it. Do we really need to see the Amelia Earhart files? Like, we know what happened to her. You know? Like, people looked for her. I mean, not hard, but like, but that's just because you couldn't back then. All you could do is stand at the shore and scream, Amelia! This week was a major milestone because Donald Trump made it a whole year. And I gotta give him a hand. Literally, I think he needs a new hand. Because that hand's got one unopened pickle jar before it slides right off. So tonight I thought we'd do a progress report. You know, what Donald Trump promised during the campaign versus what we got so far. We'll see how he grades out. I'm guessing maybe like an A-. Does that sound good to y'all? Okay, damn, fine, A+ then. I didn't realize y'all were such fans. That was from yesterday, during an event Trump did with the Artemis astronauts and the chief of NASA. And we all know Trump loves space, so he has the utmost respect for these professionals.
Sorry, are you considering relocating NASA's headquarters out of D.C. once the lease is up? States like Texas, Ohio, and Florida.
Well, the best man to tell you that is the man standing right over here. You heard that question? With those beautiful ears of yours? He's got great hearing, you know, he's got super hearing.
Trick of the trade, sir.
Wow. He's just standing there like, good one, sir. Haven't heard that since grade school, and I didn't think I'd hear it again, but I did. In my 40s. From the president. Trump just can't resist being a bully. He's sitting there like, hey, they say in space no one can hear you scream except for this guy, right? He can definitely hear it. Am I right? Am I right? And by the way, these astronauts do not look happy to be there. They're like, this is the most uncomfortable I've ever felt. And 2 weeks ago, I was pooping in zero gravity.
I wouldn't call that taunting, would you?
Yes, I would. Come on, man. These people are overworked, pissing in Snapple bottles, and demoralized. You're going to make them quit.
Oh, no. They won't. You heard the president. If they try any shit, he's gonna take care of them in a different way.
What does that mean?
You know, a different way. You know.
This is confusing me. I got the throat sign, but not the touchdown sign.
Oh, well, come on. I think it's pretty clear he's gonna take care of them in a different way. Ooh, jazz hands. You know.
This is so sad. Remember that friend at the bar who went to approach the beautiful woman? This is like if he just walked back up and you're like, okay, well, what did she say? And he's like, oh, her? Nah, she a ghost. Well, did you at least get her digits? I got concepts of digits. I know there's a 7 in there somewhere. You know what? This is all my bad for thinking Trump's word is worth his weight in gold, because it's definitely not gold. It's more like whatever material they made that Titan submersible out of. What was that, graham crackers or something? The point is, CNN found all this new footage, and Trump didn't really appreciate it.
You actually called President Trump directly to ask him about this story?
Yeah, we weren't on the phone very long. It only lasted about 30 seconds. But when I got him on the phone, I asked him about the wedding photos. He kind of paused and then said, "You've got to be kidding me." He then called CNN and me fake news a few times, and then he hung up the phone.
Wait, hold on. You can just call Donald Trump and he'll just pick up the phone himself? A president shouldn't be that available, you know? This is like pushing the call button for the flight attendant and then the pilot comes out. Like, it's like, aren't you supposed to be busy? Like, if you're here, then who's in the cockpit? I think this just shows how lonely Trump is. He's answering the phone because he just wants someone to talk to. It's kind of sad. Because remember, his best friend died in prison back in 2019. It's like he just realized he only has immunity here on Earth. And this isn't a one-off. Trump's been talking about this heaven thing a lot lately.
If you're not a believer and you believe you go nowhere, what's the reason to be good, really? There has to be some kind of a report card up there someplace, you know, like, let's go to heaven, let's get into heaven. I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole.
Oh man, this is such a bleak and completely accurate view of his chances in heaven. I will say, though, you never want to see the guy who's supposed to keep you healthy and safe talk about dying. Like, he's supposed to be leading you. You never want to hear a pilot over the system be like, oh, I just can't wait to get into heaven. Like, can we get to Pittsburgh first? And look, I don't know, man. Heaven is tough to get into. Like, I don't want to throw cold water on your hopes and dreams, but you might want to think about trying to get into, like, a safety heaven. Like, whatever SUNY Albany of heaven is up there. You know what I mean? Like, apply there, you know? Because the truth is, there's probably a good reason for Trump to worry about getting into heaven, you know? Is it? Yep. That too. I mean, that wasn't even the first thing I thought of. Crazy how many things there are. So it makes sense that Trump is worried, especially since he's not going to have people like Attorney General Pam Bondi at the pearly gates. So to go a little deeper, the man who shouted out the slur was John Davidson, who was at the BAFTAs because there was an award-winning movie based on his life with Tourette's. So yes, his outburst was involuntary and he addressed it in a statement afterwards. But right after that, I saw a lot of white people who don't have Tourette's giving him a pass, which is weird because white people don't hand out those passes. White people don't give out passes to say the N-word the same way I don't give out the passes to Cracker Barrel. I know that's not my place. The Baptists also tried to apologize during the ceremony, and here's how it went.
You may have heard some strong and offensive language tonight. The tics you've heard tonight are involuntary, which means the person who has Tourette's syndrome has no control over their language. We apologise if you were offended.
If you were offended? I mean, the only two options are being offended or liking it. Saying if ruins a whole apology the same way kind of ruins a whole wedding vow. I vow to kind of be faithful. Also, maybe the apology shouldn't come from the host of the Traitors. I honestly don't trust anything that man says anymore. But enough from Fluke from Spy Kids. Let's go even deeper.
We will restore free speech, and we need free speech in this country.
Yes, Trump promised a golden era of free speech. Not for you. They'll put you in jail just for posting memes. But Donald Trump, his speech, whew, it's so free, it seems like it's lost in the woods.
She's a documentariist. Only if you buy a Tesla. Azerbaijan, go, null, F. So it's go, null, F. Is that a proper pronunciation? I would say Abraham, but it's so much nicer when you say Abraham. I said, well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen, pergoverus. Pergoverus. As a linguist, translator, and cryptologic technician.
Whoa. Listening to Trump makes me feel like I'm having a medical event. Which is especially bad because he didn't fix health care. And did he really have leverage anyway? All I've seen so far is Epstein and Maxwell saying Trump is a dog that hasn't barked. We don't know what he didn't bark about. Maybe the rest of that email clears him.
I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Unnamed victims spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. According to the released emails, Maxwell responds, I have been thinking about that.
Oh, shit. I think the Trump train crashed. Because this isn't just not a good look. It's one of the worst looks I've ever seen. Like, I'm talking Adrian Brody in a Rasta wig bad. For the last year, Donald Trump has been fiending for a Nobel Peace Prize, like a humanitarian award addict. He's tried everything from whining to pretending that he ended 8 wars to offering to suck Norway's fjord in the parking lot. But the Nobel Committee gave the prize to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. And Trump was so butthurt, he said that she should give her prize to him. And because that's the stupidest possible thing that could happen, guess what happened?
Venezuela's opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado saying she presented her prize to President Trump.
Wow. Damn. That man just went through the 5 stages of affordability. And I get why he feels threatened, because normally he can just lie. But you're the president, and people know if they ate or not. It doesn't matter how many hats they buy or how many photos of him and Epstein they pretend they didn't see. You can hear your stomach growling when you're hungry. They're not going to be like, that must be an illegal immigrant in my stomach stirring up trouble. Get out of there, immigrant. Get out of there. But hey, you know what? $2,000 would help a lot of people. If the money's there, the money's there.
If the president sent $2,000 checks to the 150 million people who make less than $100,000, it would cost $300 billion, even though the tariffs are only projected to raise about $217 annually.
The money's not there. And now I'm starting to get worried, because that's $83 billion short. And I'm not saying Trump is the worst president of all time. I'm just saying I've never met anyone who was $83 billion short. What could be worse than waiting in line for 4 hours?
Our next guest's flight was at 10:45 p.m., and he did everything right. He got to the Atlanta airport at least 4 hours early, but he says he didn't get through security until 3:20 the next morning.
9 hours? Someone waited in TSA for 9 hours. You may not have started in that line as a terrorist, but after 9 hours, this man waited in line for the length of a shift. That means he saw the TSA agent clock in from a distance. And right as he got to the front, they clocked out in his face. By the time I get that pat down, it better be the best one I've ever had in my life. I'm talking full release, all right? If this is what flying is gonna be like from now on, you may as well go to the airport now, just in case you ever have a flight someday.